Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is TGS, the Ghost Scientist, here on YouTube. It is once again day 2 on December 14th, 2024 at 8:33 a.m. If any of you had paid attention yesterday, I had posted a whole bunch of information about several different projects that were currently taking place that's happening alongside of this operational drone, clandestine operational drone protocol that is being controlled and organized and put out by, Project Alice, running by the MIYA ASI software protocols and intelligence that we have been developing going all the way back to 1976. I am going to step by step. Unfortunately, that's the only way to do this. I'm going to step by step um, take you through all of the agencies that are involved in this. Everybody that's involved, everybody that's attached, everybody that is currently working on this particular project that does not care, people, about any of you. Any of you. You're all just willful, ignorant wallets. I hate to say it. That's how they feel about you. You are literally a willful, ignorant wallet. And you all are eating this stuff up like it's going out of style. So, here we go, right? So, in the first live broadcast that I did, as soon as this operation had launched, which was that night, well, I guess it would be last night, late last night, YouTube has been shadow banning this channel. I know for a fact. I know several broadcasters. YouTube is not currently receiving data for this stream. If you believe that is incorrect, ensure that you are sending a stream that is configured with the correct stream key. Isn't that interesting? Let's take a look, huh? You gotta love these individual. You gotta love YouTube. And you all wonder why I don't. You all wonder why I don't, and I never have, posted videos or live broadcasts on this platform. This is the very reason. This is censorship of information to help the generalized public at its best. At its best. Let's see if YouTube is making this happen at its best. You gotta love it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, because I'm recording this off the site, and it will get out. Whether YouTube likes that or not, that's on them. But it's going to get out. This information is going to get out to the public, one way or another. If you think you're going to railroad the American public, who several of us took an oath to defend and protect, it is going to stop now. Now. We are not going to allow any deep state operational center or anybody who thinks that they're in control of the lives of our citizens. Do you really think that we're just going to sit back and allow you guys to put our people in this country, the American lives, at risk? See, you think you've done a great job by trying to kick out anyone who was long in the tooth. Any operator, any officer, anybody in charge of any operation within inside of military clandestine operations. You have done your best at eliminating us from our positions so that we cannot protect the American people. And you think that's how it's going to work. It's not. It's not in the least. There are many individuals that I know personally that are vets in this country that are never going to allow you to put the people of this nation in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. And you think you're more intelligent than we are, yet you hired us. Do you think we don't know how your operations function? Do you seriously think we don't know who's involved, who's attached? Why did you hire us if that was the case? You didn't hire us because we were ignorant. You hired us because we understood how to control and defend and lead a clandestine operation anywhere in the world. So now that you've rolled this out, this particular program that I spoke about 15 years ago with the Anglo-Saxon mission, protocol for the world, not just for this nation, folks. What's being rolled out right now is going to affect the world. They have planned this for years. That you have never heard of it or even cared to know about it is on you. That's on you. That doesn't mean that everybody else needs to close their eyes and stick their heads in the sand like ostriches and just allow the entire American citizenry to be railroaded and driven over by this operation. It's not going to happen. And it's about damn time that everyone that is in this country that gave an oath to this country to defend this country and its Constitution from enemies both foreign and domestic. Did you all forget that? Did you all forget about signing that document? Or was it just a joke? Were you just trying to gain your GI Bill and all the nonsense, or did you actually believe in the contract and the oath that you took for this country and its well-being? And do you plan on sitting back in the background and allowing some regime that likes to play in the shadows to take over your children and your grandchildren and control their futures? Why'd you sign the contract? Why? I ask you. So in these videos that I'm going to release, and I'm sure, without a shadow of a doubt, YouTube is going to scrub from the internet as quickly as it possibly can. It's going to shadow ban every single video that I post. Why? Because it's truth. And the one thing that hurts this entire operation that is currently at hand, folks, is truth. That means spreading of the truth. Not the nonsense that's on the multimedia, not the nonsense being put out by politicians and all these idiots in government trying to convince you, oh, folks, we just don't know. We have no idea. Stop. If you believe any of that, you're the problem. Understand what I just said. If you believe anything these politicians are telling you about not knowing what's going to happen and what's coming, you are the problem. You need to wake up. This program of Alice is a real thing. Okay? Alice has been developed since 1976. This isn't something new, folks. This is old tech that has now just developed enough technological advancements to be able to control itself. Let me say that again. This artificial intelligence, which has several different code names attached to it, and the reason why they do that, folks, is to confuse you all. Why? Because they do not want individuals like myself talking about it. And if we do, they need to have plausible deniability to keep you all from having any of the real information in front of you. That's how clandestine operations work in the shadows, people. We have a saying, okay? This is a saying amongst ourselves. That which takes place in the shadows remains in the shadows. Let that sink in. That which takes place in the shadows remains in the shadows. That's what they expect. That's how they control all of this stuff. People go, how do you keep a secret in government operation? It's extremely easy, folks. You only give one piece of the puzzle to one operator or one divisional director or one person in charge of that specific aspect of the operation, and the rest of them are willfully ignorant. They have no clue what is actually going on or the operation in which they're actually working in. They only have one piece of the puzzle. And unless you have all of the pieces of the puzzle in front of you, and you can put all of those puzzle pieces to make one gigantic picture, you're never going to understand what's really truly going on in this country. You're not. You're not. And it's pre-programmed and planned, folks, to be that way. It's planned. They expect you to be so ignorant to what this country actually does around the world that you will go along with it. Why? Because you don't know any better. You're like a child in a playpen, and we slowly deliver toys to you. That's how it works, people. That's not being mean. It's not trying to hurt your feelings or create some sort of emotional trigger to make you go off. It's not. It's giving you facts, which is something that apparently all of these people who claim to be for the people aren't doing. Like Valuetainment, PBD. You know how many people? I know I have had people all day long and for the last 2 days trying to contact all of these individuals who claim to be for the people. And it's not just one, folks. It's several. We have people that have been watching my podcast and listening to my radio broadcasts for years who are sending emails with links of directed information that are facts to these individuals, and they have not answered one response, not one. That's how we know there is no way they are for you. But yet you all keep on following these people, and you're going to follow them to the grave. You're going to follow them to the grave. They are literally leading you to cattle trucks, whether you like that or not, and that is not fear-mongering. Okay? It's not trying to scare you. Those are facts. It's coming. Whether you like it or not, you are not in control, and neither are they. That's the scariest part of it. They're not in control of this artificial intelligence, folks. Quit thinking they are. They're not. No one has been paying attention for the last 2 years to the fact that the majority of the hierarchy in the engineering departments and design and coding of artificial intelligence have been trying to warn you and the public for years. And y'all don't listen. Just listen to these mouthpieces that are paid and organized by the organizations and governments who are trying to suppress you. And you're believing these people. You're believing them. And that's the problem. Keep believing them, And it's going to lead to a cattle truck sitting outside your house. Mark my words. I gave warnings about this project that took place yesterday for years, folks. Years. Going all the way back to 2005. No one listened. Nobody. Doing radio broadcasts and interviews with so many people behind the scenes and getting them to put the information out to you, all of the real people that would have put that information in front of your faces are now gone. They're gone. There's no one to deliver to you reality. No one. No one's willing anymore to tell you the truth. The truth. And they're going to shadow this and all of the information like this so you, the general public, never see it. You're never going to see it, which is a shame. And then you have to ask yourself the question, why is TGS up on that camera after never showing his face for 15 years in this industry? Why is he now in front of this camera? Because I want evidence to show that I was on your side all the way to the end. Always have been, always will be. When I signed my contract and took my oath, it wasn't a joke to me, folks. I signed my life away for you all. You think that I took that like half-heartedly? No. It hasn't stopped now. It didn't stop then. And I'm going to do everything I can in the last months that I've got left in this world to make sure that that information is in front of your faces. And whether you accept that or not is on you. That's not on me at all. Okay? So let's talk about Alice. 1976. IBM's working on an engineering program in cellulose communications and recording data on cellulose reels, massive reels, in conjunction with the development of a thing called Big Blue. They stumble across a coded system. This is a coded signal, like radio frequency, like RF. They don't know where the code came from. And they find it interesting because they're trying to figure out what it is. Because the code is extremely complex and it seems to be communicating. This was the first stages of Alice. They then made partnerships between IBM, Texas Instruments, and Ma Bell, who Texas Instruments had to be working with at the time, in order to develop this particular artificial intelligence into what you understand as the World Wide Web today. And we're not talking about the surface stuff that you all see, the 1% of the web that you see. We're talking about the ultra web, which is used by DNI. Let me say that again. The Department of Naval Intelligence. That's the real system that is being operated for secrecy and intelligence in this country. And there's several other countries, to include Russia, China, and the major players around the world, who all have a piece of that pie. And they are working in conjunction with each other. Whether you all get that or not is on you. Those are facts. Alice has then continued to be developed from the 1970s through the 1980s. And in 1985, when the formation of the Star Wars project came about, and you had funding, government funding, to the tune of $300+ million in $85, mind you, going into the Star Wars project that went into the gray. Not black, folks. Quit it. That's a CONTELPRO operation where people keep on talking about black ops. Anyone that has seriously, truly worked in intelligence knows it's called working in the gray. We work in the gray. Why? It's on the fringe. It's for the NGO organizations who have contracts with the federal government that we work with, that we get other than security clearance for. Through what? Oh, typically that clearance comes from DOE or Department of Energy. So you get your standardized clearances from the DOD, the Department of Defense. And then when you are given a task, an operational activity, such as ISA, right? Which is the Intelligence Security Authority for the government. Probably one of the most secretive organizations in all of military anywhere in the world. And we work with them all. We work with every single one of them. Every organization there is. If you ask CAG guys, they know what I'm talking about. And CAG would be combat application groups. In the term of this, folks, what you get is this operational program through NGOs that are backed and funded by SAMs, the System of Award Management. That's how these NGOs get their money, folks. You cannot get paid by this country as a corporate engineering, development, R&D, scientific, it doesn't matter what kind of a firm you are. In order to get paid, you have to be on SAMs. Every one of the companies that I listed that are involved in this organization of the development of this drone technology that is currently in the air right now is all listed on SAMs. Do your due diligence, people. You got Merit, Artificial Drone Swarm Technology. You also have Icarus, Corporate Icarus, which is also a development corporation in artificial intelligence, hardware engineering, and schematics and implementation that have contracts. These are governmental contracts funded and signed through SAMs. They are then attached to intelligence organizations like the National Reconnaissance Office, the Intelligence Security Authority, the Intelligence Security Organization or Operational Command Center, which is ISO. They then are in charge of these kinds of things, but they're not flying these things. This entire operation is being run by Alice. An internal organization, if you're trying to figure out what the internal part of that is, it's actually MIYA ASI, or MIYA Artificial Super Intelligence. It is in control of the swarm program called WASP, W-A-S-P, Project WASP. It is currently in the air as we speak. And not just here in the United States, folks. This is just the beginning. Wait for it. It's going to get worse. A lot worse. And you have been warned for years, but nobody listens. Nobody. Because you all don't read anymore. You guys are eating these telephone systems and this YouTube nonsense and all this other stuff, and you're not reading any of the documents that are coming from Congress through either hearings or injunctions against those corporations that they know are trying to stop the people and the security of this nation. When will you all wake up? When? I ask. What is it going to take? You want to tell me? By the time the cattle truck rolls down the road and it's sitting in front of your house and it's ready to take you and your children to a reinternment camp, is that what it's going to take? Is that when you'll actually pay attention? Because by then, folks, it'll be too late, if it's not too late already. I said this in my live broadcast when they launched this program, and I said it 49 days before it happened. 49 days. I missed it by 5 days, sorry. The date. The exact date I missed by 5 days. Wow. I said it right to your face. Some were listening. Some know what I'm saying is absolutely the facts. We knew this event was going to happen. We were already told it was going to happen. No one that has the power to get this information out to you, the public, gives a shit about you or your family. When will you wake up and realize that? No one. Not the mainstream media, not the supposed CT community that's supposed to be putting out this information, such as PVD, Alex Jones, Nick Pope, all the other one, Nolan, you name it, folks. I know for a fact that my people have contacted them to give them the direct information on what I've been putting out over the last 2 days, and none of them, not one of them, will respond. The one individual we thought would respond from PDD's podcast, which is Patrick Bet Davis, or David, was Vinny. And I know for a fact he's been contacted multiple times by our people, by the people that have surrounded me for over 15 years. While I put out this information, gave Vinny the information because we felt, well, geez, if anybody will understand the organizations we're talking about, the people that are tied to these organizations, is going to be Vinny. No responses, folks. And this video, if it ever gets seen by the public, by the time it gets seen in any way, shape, or form, they're going to open their eyes and going to realize it's too late. It's too late. You're going to get railroaded, people, whether you like it or not. You need to get the message out. This is a clandestine operation. This is not aliens. It is not some foreign government. It is not some foreign organization. This is literally Alice rolling out the clandestine operation called the Anglo-Saxon Mission. And anyone that has worked in real intelligence knows exactly what I'm saying to be true. And that the fact that you don't know is not your fault, people. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. Because if you knew, you all wouldn't allow it to happen. But you are in front of your faces. Mark my words, they're not done, people. This is not aliens. This is not some foreign organization or government. This is our own government in operational duties. And they're utilizing Space Force to do it. Oh, isn't that amazing? Did y'all forget that organization was formed? They brought in cryptologic linguistics and flight commands and piloting and drone operators. And did you guys forget about that? Or have you lost your minds when it comes to what's the reality of this country? Look up MIYA, Artificial Intelligence. Look up the Alice Project. There's lots of documentation that's even on the surface that can lead you down the rabbit hole to the truth. Will you follow it or do you research? No, you won't. But I am going to post a bunch of documents that will lead you to the Alice Project, that will explain how this artificial intelligence is in charge, to include the fact that Elon Musk himself knows what I am saying about MIYA ASI and the Alice Artificial Intelligence Program in charge of this clandestine operation is true. It's the reason why he is keeping quiet, people. You're talking about one of the guys that is the leaders in computerized intelligence and artificial intelligence, and he's been strangely silent. And then, after I posted and one of my people had contacted him, he put up a tweet on X, right? He put up an X that said exactly this: swarm battles in the sky incoming. That's all he had to say. Nobody even paid attention to it. What he's talking about is literally there will be swarm battles in the sky with these particular operational AI systems in charge to buffalo you into believing that this is an attack by outside forces, folks. They have to do this program because their initial program that they planned on doing to remain in office and in power didn't work. It didn't work. They hadn't planned on doing any of this until the beginning stages of 2029, folks. They were hoping they were going to remain power in office, and then this operation would have been rolled out for another 4 years, meaning slowly boiling you for 4 years. They can't wait. Their program didn't work. Now, the only way they can keep their power structure and keep those who are in the shadows and in control of the shadows is by making sure that they create a conflict in which the administration that is in office cannot be removed. If any of you had had any type of real military experience or understand bureaucracy in the context of security of this nation and its national security, you would know what I'm saying is truth. Without a shadow of a doubt. The question is that how are you all going to learn about it since everybody that seems to have the platforms right now, which by the way was planned, they eliminated anyone that could have gotten this information to you, to include William Milton Cooper. Milton would have had this out hour of our time this way. We would have been on broadcast. He and I would have been on broadcast continuously for the last 2 months, talking about the fact that this operation was coming on Celestial and ham radio. And you all would have heard it, and you would know exactly what was coming. But because they killed Milton on his front porch, in his front lawn, right next to his daughter's car, you no longer have access to that information. You no longer have ham radio operations in radio. Why? They went from UHF to digital. Why do you think they did that, folks? So they could control the airwaves. Because the first thing you do in an operation, I don't care where it is in the world, you must control communications. Period. It's literally step one. Control the stream of information, control the information that's going out to the generalized public and society so that you can then control society. Because why? You'll be able to blindside them. They'll never know what's coming, which is exactly what's happening now. So you all keep on listening to this nonsense about it being an alien attack and all these are alien craft and blah, blah, blah. You notice the only ones that are getting their information out are these ones that are pushing that agenda, right? The alien agenda, it's a foreign national, like, Iran purchasing a mothership from China, and stop, people. Stop. If that was even close to the truth, they would be controlling that information. If it was even close. Now ask yourself the question, why are they controlling this information? Why are they controlling it on Discord? Because we're no longer allowed to post on there, by the way. The documents that we were putting up to show the facts of this, you can no longer post. Right? They're posting and shadow banning these videos that are putting out the truth of the operational centers themselves. They're also shadow banning anyone that's on X that's attached to the inside information trying to stop this from happening so that the public wakes up. They are silencing all of them. So, you think that Elon took over X in order to protect you? Stop, people. Stop. If that was the facts, X would not be censoring the truth about what is happening with this drone technology in your face. I've got multiple people trying to get this information out about this particular project, this Anglo-Saxon mission, which is the mission operation, by the way. And the fact that you have MIYA Artificial Intelligence ASI in control of these drone systems through our own project DARPA called WASP. W-A-S-P, WASP. We've been developing this stuff forever, folks. It's our own stuff. Stop. This isn't some foreign country. This isn't some freaking outside world alien invasion, people. Stop. They're convincing you of this because they're hoping for the conflict. That way you don't get a regime change. Do you all understand that? You don't get a transition of power on January 21st if we've had a declaration of war. You might want to look up the War Powers Act, which hardly no citizen in this country even knows anymore because they stopped teaching civics and history, true civics and history, in the school system. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the young people don't know about the branches, the true branches of government, and who's in charge? Because they're no longer being educated in it, folks. They're being indoctrinated to be blind, deaf, and dumb. That's how it works. That's how you control the masses. What do you think we do in Syria? What do you think we did in Afghanistan? What do you think we did in Pakistan and Iraq? Huh? You think I mean, this is literally Ops 101, folks. You better wake up. And I don't mean come woke. I mean wake up. Start following the bouncing ball. Start trying to protect yourself and your children and your children's children, or there won't be any. That's all I can say. What can you do to wake this public up? Because it is literally in a slumber, and it is going to be devastating. The next 4 years, because this was a trigger, folks. I've been saying it for 15 years. As soon as they pull this, it begins. And it is going to culminate in April of 2029. And now it's on record, and it has been on record for years, me saying that. I told you this was coming. Some of you listened. Some of you contacted me as soon as it happened and said, I can't believe it. It's happening right this second. I said, I know. Couldn't get the public to know. Why? Because they took over all communications that any of us could have warned you about. All of it. They are in complete control of information in this country, folks. And you are being sold a bad bill of goods that is going to affect you and harm your family. Period. They stopped us all who were actually for this country, who were patriots that believe in the Constitution of our rights and the Bill of Rights and that of the safety and security of our nation. They stopped us from talking to you all. Did you all not figure that out? Did you just decide to close your eyes and stick your heads in the sand? What do you think is coming, folks? This is only the beginning. And I have to say, y'all better get your houses in order. Y'all better get your houses in order. And do it quickly. Yep. Y'all better bring everything back to the breast. And do it quickly. And you know, all I can say is with that being said, this has been the Ghost Scientist, your voice from the beyond. And as always, folks, seriously as always, good journey. And I wish you and your families all the best. I hope and pray that this message gets out and people actually learn to protect themselves through the truth. That's all I can say. This has to go out, people, or there is no future in this country. Period. There's no future for you, your family, or your children. I wish you all the best, and I'm going to keep on posting as much information as I can before they cut it off because I know it's coming. So hopefully, folks, you get a clue. Wake up.